Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to GameCast's 1001 Games You've Got to Play Before You Die series, with me, your host, Mr. North. Today I'm playing Torchlight, the dramatic dungeon delver developed by developer Runic Games and released in October of 2009. The basic formula of the game involves the collection of equipment, gold and other loot whilst you slay enemies. It's a loot reward system that has worked well and continues to work well for many ARPG titles, perfectly pushing you on that continuous upgrade treadmill. Runic Games was originally Flagship Studios, developers of the Hellgate London and Mythos games. At the time of Flagship Studios closing, the entire Seattle team of 14 people signed on to the new company Runic Games to develop Torchlight, an isometric action RPG where you control your lone hero and progress through randomized dungeons. Torchlight takes place in a mining village of the same name, built above a mine of ember, a magical substance of great value. The game has you progress through a series of quests which mostly involve battling unique bosses, and then players adventure deep into the subterranean depths and the dungeons beneath Torchlight, only to discover that Ember is not as benign as it immediately seems. Indeed, as the player progresses, they slowly discover that Ember has a corrupting influence and can be tied to the fall of past civilizations. There are 3 character classes in the game: the Destroyer, the Alchemist, and the Vanquisher. The Destroyer is a warrior skilled in melee combat, or the tank archetype. The Alchemist is the typical mage blasting electricity and summoning creatures to fight for them, and the Vanquisher is the rogue or archer class, specialising in ranged weapons and traps. In addition to class choice, there are a number of spell abilities that any class can learn, a la Diablo 1, and each class is paired with a pet companion. The pet is perhaps my favourite part of Torchlight, as it can fight for you, carry items and even take them back to town to sell. As you progress through the game, you can transform your pet into different shapes by feeding it magical fish gained from the fishing minigame. The game's art style was supposedly inspired by comic books and classic film animation, and it's easy to see those influences in the stylized character designs and painted background textures. The game's individual levels are assembled by randomly generated modular chunks, which contain enemies, traps and secret passageways in different combinations, creating a more handcrafted dungeon whilst retaining traditional ARPG zone randomization. Torchlight has extensive modding capabilities through the TorchED game editor. It uses publicly available file formats and is on-the-fly intuitive, allowing the user to switch between editing and playing without leaving the editor itself. The community has, over the years, developed a number of interesting modifications for the game. Torchlight has about 10 to 15 hours gameplay for a first pass, though there's definitely replayability in trying out different builds and classes. It has addictive and simple gameplay, which I found extremely fun right from the get-go, and you can pick it up quickly, so the game is well worth a go if you have the opportunity. Hey there, you're joining me on my Alchemist Skeleton Summoner, who I started playing because I was fancying playing a Necromancer on Path of Exile, but the new expansion, Fall of Oriath, if you're watching this in the future, had yet to come out. So I had a little look into what I could do in Torchlight. Crikey, I'm getting swarmed. I had a little look into what I could do in Torchlight, and I built as a skeleton summoner. Although it does look like some of my pets went down there. I've got a couple of demon imps, who are the little tiny purple guys you can see running around. And I've got all these skeleton friendlies, who I'm summoning and running around with. I've got my weapons kitted up to restore my mana as I hit, and if I cast this spell, then I can heal myself. And I can also heal all my pets and cast a damage reflection aura on them. That's the 3 button here. I think a lot of my pets went down while I wasn't looking then. It's kind of a pain. The demon imps have to be summoned from corpses, and it's kind of a pain to do so, because some of the corpses seem to disappear after a little while, so you have to be quite quick to get to the corpses, which is a pain. Alright, what are we doing over here? We've got a dead adventurer. Let's go prod the corpse. I've got so many mana potions. I don't need this many mana potions. My skeleton archers are stationary, so I summon them. One's up there for some reason. No, two are up there for some reason. I summon them, and then they just stay where they are and shoot at people. But my skeleton warriors, which are one of the main parts of my build, follow me around. What are we doing here? We've got a fight? Yep. Shoot the mushroom. The old dangerous stationary mushroom. But the skeleton warrior skill has a short cooldown, but the minions last a lot longer than the cooldown, so you have to kind of spam it as you run around, which is a little bit of a pain. I believe, yes, I'm level 12. I'm slightly over this level because I did a bunch of side quests. Side quests before I carried on with the main quest. And I need to restore my demon imps, which means I need to kill stuff. I was summoning the skeleton warriors and not paying attention to the demon imps there. That's the damage reflection aura. And I can have, I think, four of my nether imps. How many am I running with now? That's 3. I also have my wolf. The pet in Torchlight is awesome. It's definitely one of my favourite parts of the game, and I really wish it was a feature in other games, because if I check my inventory for a second here, I can throw over items to my pet. Like, throw those 3 things away, the bill, the fighting staff, and the bronze mace. And then I can go, fuck off to town. Sod off to town, please. And he's gone, and he can't fight for me whilst he's gone. But he'll come back in a little while and sell me the stuff. Whoa, that thing's huge! Oh wow, I'm getting swarmed. I didn't have all my pets out. I didn't have the golem out either. Kill the giant spider, please. I'm not on board with this. Get rid of Shelob. Yeah, did it. I'm not paying much attention to the items, it seems. The deeper you get into the dungeons underneath Torchlight, although I appear to be in some kind of swamp now, so I don't know what's going on here. The deeper you get, the longer it takes for your pet to come back when you send it to the shop, and there are some skills that can make it come back faster. Here we go. Whew, 75 gold, that was worth it. I should have given it some more items before I did that, or used some of my identification scrolls. That actually, yeah, I think I will swap that out for the lucky copper ring. Which one was the lucky copper ring? Vital, lucky. Yeah, now I can get, I've had that lucky copper ring since like the first area. 17 health stolen per hit. That's pretty good. That is a wand, so I can swap it out for my non-socketed tainted focus, because my socketed one I think is giving me strength, which no, it's giving me damage, but I need strength to wear some of my gear, so I'm just going to throw some of this stuff away. And half this game is item management, but that's kind of par for the course with an action RPG. You can get guns and stuff as well, but I'm not really a ranged damage dealing class. I do alright. Wow, that bounces. My poison does a little area effect, and the lightning does a... Ow. The lightning bounces. Yeah, but I'm not really a damage dealing class. I mostly shoot just to restore my mana and life, because I have it. I have it as weapon effects and gear effects to do so. Although, I can hurt. I mean, if you look at that guy's health, it only took me 3 hits to kill him. But it's just mostly that I don't have any weapon AoE, and I'm quite slow. Mostly, my shtick is to summon minions, throw them at the enemy, and cast damage reflection on them, whilst healing them. So, they take all the damage from me and weaponize it.
My mana is low.
Ooh, got a portal to the glyph room, or the gilf room. Nope, gilf sounds like something else. Gilf rhymes with MILF. That's that's not where I'm going with that. The Gilf room sounds like it would honestly be more horrifying than the Glyph room. Yeah, so this is my character. I'm running a Summon Skeleton guy, just because I wanted to be a Necromancer but didn't want to play Path of Exile right now. And it's going pretty well. It's fun. I did try the Destroyer and the Vanquisher before I settled on the Alchemist, and I found them a little boring in comparison. I think the Alchemist has a lot more interesting skills. Although that said, some of the most interesting skills are the spells you can learn that any class can then customize. And you can teach your pet spells as well, which is interesting. My pet currently knows how to heal itself and how to heal everyone. But if you unlearn a spell, whether it's your pet or yourself, then you lose the spell. So you have to be careful, and they're quite expensive to buy and rare to find. So you have to be careful about which spells you're deciding to socket and unsocket from your character. But you get the full skill tree here, and I'm focused on the lore branch of the Alchemist tree, which is all the summoning. And you can get a skill that increases your spells. So skills being what your character learns as they go along in the skill trees, and spells being what you socket down here. So my Summon Archers, Summon Skeleton, Draining Touch, and Heal All. And my Charm Spells Mastery skill increases the level of my Skeleton spells. So you can build around it. You can build around the spells. I like that I can get a nice army of skeletons going if I remember to cast. I can have sort of like 10 or 12 of them going at once, split between the warriors and the archers. I very rarely seem to run out of life now because I have so many minions tanking for me that very little seems to get a hit on me, which works out nicely.
Insufficient mana.
Plus I'm always healing myself when I'm healing my minions, so that works out pretty well. Just gotta remember to spam that skeleton skill or else I run out of them. Oh, and I have stat points to assign. I've been mostly going into defense. Although you need your strength, dexterity and magic to equip things, I've been going pretty lax on them because I don't need to scale my spell damage, my weapon elemental damage, my range damage or my melee damage, so I might as well put all my points into defense so I'm not dying. Again, maybe another reason why I'm taking little damage and using few health potions. Asgar the Loathsome resurrects pygmies. I hate enemies. Well, it's a mechanic that I love from a design standpoint. It's interesting and it makes things... Glyph of Direction. Was this what I'm down here for? Is this my quest? I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what happens when you haven't played for, well, probably a week, and then you jump in. Oh, I remember. Syl, this lady here.
No wonder the Assyrians' knowledge advanced so quickly.
Cool. Good stuff. She was telling me to go through these portals and find the glyphs. Find the glyphs that I just found one of. So that's one of 3. And I don't know what happens when I find all 3, but I'm guessing we go through the portal that Syl is standing watch over. Whew. The load times kind of show the age of this game. I mean, my computer should be handling this just fine, but that takes quite a while to load, and it's not the first time it's done that. Yes, but I found the Destroyer and the Vanquisher not as interesting as the Alchemist. They were very mundane, very samey.
My mana's low.
Whereas the Alchemist, if I just bring up the skill tree again, he has quite a lot of different playstyles. He can go relatively melee-like and smash things up close. He can summon. He can cast from a distance. The Alchemist gets a lot more options when you're choosing how to build him, especially when you combine with all the spells you can get, like resisting damage and healing yourself and increasing your attack strength. Plus, if build around the stats properly, you can still go, say, full melee or full ranged with him. Whereas the Destroyer and Vanquisher really don't seem to have much in the way of magical options. It seems like you're gimping yourself if you choose to go magic with either of those. Although, whereas the Alchemist has access to the charm spells, which are your summoning spells and I guess monster charming spells. I would assume that, but I haven't seen any monster charming spells yet. The Destroyer gets access to the defensive spells. I think it could be the Vanquisher. I could have that entirely wrong. And the other one gets access to the other branch of spells, there being 3 spells, as a skill type that lets you increase the spell level. So each class is going to be distinctly better at one of the skills, it seems, or one of the spell types. So the Alchemist is the Summoner. You can be a magic caster of different strength with the other classes and perhaps different playstyles, but the Alchemist is always going to be the best summoner because he has access to the charm spell mastery. No spiders as big as that other one I saw a little while ago, thankfully. Although I do keep shooting explosive barrels in the face, which is dumb. Fortunately, I can do the old healy looky loo. The old heal some, take some. I quite like playing Summoner because it means I don't have to focus on where the enemies are. My eyesight isn't great, so when I'm playing Summoner, it means I know where the enemies are because my minions are already going for them. What was that? We got some boots. Faster movement, but I have set boots. Although, and they have a strength attribute bonus. I need that. I can't be getting rid of my strength attribute. Wow, they're good. I think I will be swapping those on. Nope, I gave it to my dog. That was dumb. Other button. There we go. I swapped them on. Took me 2 tries. I do, on weapon swap, actually have a melee weapon. It has a lot of mana gain on it. Let's see if I can actually find someone. Yeah, because I'm somewhat blind, I need the minions to tell me where everything is, or else I can't find it in time. But yeah, I can smack things around with my staff, and I get a lot of mana back for doing that. I have so many minions at the minute that I can't seem to get to the enemies to hit them with the staff. Talk about your first world Torchlight problems. Doing too much damage. Oh wow, this is going poorly. Alright, maybe I let the minions tank. Where am I supposed to be going? What is the map button? And you can't seem to change your keybinds in Torchlight, which I dislike. The map button is set to A and not M. That's a weird key binding for the map, right? Oh, I hate the cloud effects that some enemies drop. They just wreck all your minions. Let's see if I can't find this other glyph. Oh, I need to get out of the cloud. Get out of the cloud. I can't seem to see how much life my minions have either. So every now and again I just resummon everyone. Which goes alright because I'm hitting enough to restore my mana for the most part. I'm wondering if I'm going to find another giant spider guarding the second glyph room. Oh, I'm going to brave the cloud. I'm going to brave the cloud. There was a yellow. What was the yellow? Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. It wasn't a yellow. Christ, I am colorblind.
My mana's low.
Let's go around. Wow, you just hit him for 144. That's not low. I have so many potions, I can just spam them all the time now. And when I can't see my minions, I can just cast my damage reflector. There we go. There is another giant spider. I was right. If I do have a complaint about Torchlight, it is that some of the areas do feel very repetitive. You see a lot of the same tile sets. Partially because of how the game generates dungeons. You end up... It takes a few sort of set tile pieces and combines them together in different ways. But there aren't enough tile pieces, so you do end up seeing... Who's this guy? White Breaker. Go down. Noise.
My pack is full.
So, but there aren't enough of the... Throw some of this to my dog. There aren't enough of the tiles to go far long enough without seeing the same one over and over again. Which kind of sucks. Frost Focus. Steals health. It is... I think it's better. I think it's better than my acid one, which we did discover... No, wrong one. We did discover wasn't giving me strength, so we'll swap into cold and lightning. Nice. Summon all my minions back again. I don't know where they went. I think they got trapped. Cool, cool. It all looks like junk to me. Oh hell, those boots have a lot of health. Ah, but I need the strength from my boots. I really need to level up my strength so I can go do that.
Your pet
And
has departed.
send my dog away. Torchlight is an awesome game to just, if you've got like a spare half an hour or something, just jump on and smash some enemies. And the storyline is not involving enough that you need to actually worry about where on earth you were in it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing in the story right now. All I know is that I jumped on, there are some enemies to kill, and all the quests seem to continually involve killing enemies. So, it is a fairly simple but really enjoyable game. And not every game has to be a narrative masterpiece. The environments are fun, the gameplay is solid. It's a recommendation from me. It is a good time-killing game. If indeed you have time you want to kill.
Your pet has returned.
I swear the dog came back faster this time. Maybe it's based on how far you travel, because last time I wasn't really going far. Get out of the cloud! Get out of the cloud! Pew pew! Pew pew! Shoot him down. Oh, one thing I do like is that when you walk near the gold, it automatically picks it up. See? You don't have to click on it at all. I wish more ARPGs had systems like that. Path of Exile's currency items, I would love if you just picked them up automatically when you move near them. I mean, with some toggleable option, because some of them are crap, but it's still very helpful. Oh yeah, portal to the glyph room. Just so as not to blue balls you, I will finish this glyph room as quickly as I can before I sign off. I think I'll run along a little bit. Oh, what is that? Brodzan. One thing I do like about playing a summoner in Torchlight is that I can support my minions. Oh god, what if I can't give it over? Oh, I can give it over to my dog. I can support my minions by shooting. I mean, I don't do a huge amount of damage, but it's nice to contribute. And it's nice to have something to do when I'm not spamming my minion buffs. What on earth is that? A venom spirit. Have I seen one of these before? Oh good, it's going to do those area... Oh no, it's dead. I was going to say, oh good, it's going to do those area clouds I hate. Did I pick up the other glyph already? I'm not sure I did. How many do I have? Nope. Alright, well I'll have to go back and get that. I am Mr. North, and thanks for watching.